Hey VV Nation, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Ryan, and on May 1st, put it on your calendars. By popular demand, we're kicking off the road show in Charlotte, North Carolina. Break down what we'll be doing that day.
We're going to do 2 live streams there. We're going to do the Stock Analysis Power Hour, which is going to be done by Ryan. We're also going to be doing Trending Thursday live stream as well, which will be hosted by me. And in the middle, we've got a special presentation.
We've worked very hard for a special presentation titled Unlocking the Secrets to Financial Success. Now, after the business is done, we're going to have some fun with our VIP experience where we rented out the presidential suite in Uptown Charlotte. We're going to have a very own sommelier hosted by Jarvis Vineyards. And on top of that, we are going to go over to Fahrenheit's, a beautiful rooftop restaurant where we'll be able to get to know our subscribers even more. To register, simply go to VectorVest.com/roadshow.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Can you give me my chat? Because I have no idea what's going on. If you can hear me loud and clear, Joey's riding the side saddle here. He's in the office with me. So it usually doesn't happen, but he currently is. So if you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please let me know in the chat. It'd be greatly appreciated. You know, Trending Thursday is the thing that started us off here when we got revamped back into YouTube. And Joey's been with me ever since. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. All right. So it sounds like everybody can hear me. Today I've got a guest. We're going to get into that in a moment. Especially, I like that, Antonia Gabo. I like that. Yeah, I like that. So I don't know if Antonia and Janice may not be that far from each other. Only if why are you putting all that up there?
Mind your business.
Why are you talk about me minding my business? This is my business.
Do something.
This is my business. All right, Joey, get some FaceTime. No, you don't want to see Joey. You don't want to see him. All right, so today looks like, and I had in my alert today that the market's in a third day of rally mode, 3 days in a row. And as you can see on the color guard, 2 green lights recently. Today we have 3 yellow lights. That's because we can't get a green light today because of last week's red light. But the market is in rally mode. All of the major indices, as you can see, are all up today. All right. Now, the question is this sustainable? Or is this a head fake? Or as my guest said to me today, they said, you know, it's like that until we get used to it, and then the market goes back down. So you know what I'm going to do? Can I use my buttons?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get us into the software, and this is what I want us to pay attention to. I like that we've got the 3 days up. Oh, crud. I like that we've got the 3 days up, but look at this. We're coming right to a beautiful level of resistance, sitting at about $66.37. Nice open candle, no wick, which means we're trading at the session highs today, coming off the low, nicely trending higher. What do? We trade the chart, not our heart. We are in an uptrend. RT is not confirming that yet. The market's moving higher, but RT is not above 1, putting us in an uptrend. The MTI is on the rise. The buy-to-sell ratio is on the rise. Notice that the buy-to-sell ratio is not above 1 either, showing that we've got more buys than sells. We're still at the level of 0.31. Folks, we still have a lot more sells in the system than buys. I just need you to keep your eyes on it. The RT is not there yet. The MTI, or the underlying trend of the market, is at 0.82, and all of these are with MTI and RT are both cast on the scale between 0 and 2. So I love that we're moving higher. I say we take advantage of it, but I'm going to tell you, as we looked at the color guard on the homepage, there's a lot of yellow. I'm telling you to be careful. I'm not telling you to back up the truck. I am telling you to take what the market gives you. Right now, the market's giving us 3 days of moving higher. With that being said, let's just keep some of the powder dry. I'm making some money on some stocks. You know, I'm always going to tell you which stocks I'm in. But I just need you to keep that out there in your mind. Real quick now, how can I go? Can I just click on, do I tab over to the stories?
Yeah.
All right, let me tab over to the stories real quick. News came out in, U.S. labor market showed strength in quarter one. And, the administration is was trying to pressure the Fed into cutting interest rates, but part of the problem with cutting interest rates is the labor market's still strong. Not only that, are we going to get into a level of higher inflation due to tariffs? The tariff story is still not over yet, but I think we've toned down the rhetoric on the tariff story. People are feeling just a tad bit more comfortable about it. There's still some uncertainty, but maybe a lot less uncertainty. That is something to keep in mind. All right, but the labor market showed strength in quarter one, but future hiring may slow, Vanguard says. Another headline story: orders for big ticket items like autos and appliances surge 9% in March in rush to beat tariffs. A lot of people are buying up stuff so that they can have the inventory, so that they don't have to pay the big money on that stuff. So I take that with a grain of salt. I love that those big ticket items are going up, but for the reasons that they're going up, is that also sustainable? And the last story I'm going to talk about real quick is Trump aims to fight China's control of minerals by investing in miners. Ryan did a great story last week talking about the top rare earth metal stocks to own. I added to his watch list. I sent that over to him. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a small segment about more rare earth metals, especially two ETFs that I want you to keep your eyes on. But I think tomorrow's video is going to be low dollar undervalued stocks. I think if the market is showing us signs that it wants to be a little bit more bullish, I like the idea of the low dollar stocks. If the market's really ready to move, we can take advantage of some cheap stocks that are undervalued with rising value. We're going to use the power of the VectorVest software to find these stocks rather than just looking at the news. All right, so I think tomorrow's video is going to be a twofer. I am going to offer up, in regards to this story right here, I am going to offer up two ETFs that you can play for the rare earth plays, put on top of Ryan's video last week. And then the main crux of tomorrow's video is going to be low dollar undervalued stocks. All right, set us up for transition. If I don't know how that goes. All right, so yeah, probably that.
You want to bring Ron?
Not yet. Bring me back to the first scene. I think it's that one. Yeah. All right. So from here, I have a great guest that's on today. His name is Ron Wheeler. Many of you have already heard his name and know of him. In my mind, I think he's one of the greatest options gurus that are out there. That gives it to you straight. That really gives it to you straight. And right now, they are going through something called the options paycheck. And I brought Ron on because he's got a free web webcast coming on today that I want you all to jump on board with. So without further ado, let's go bring Ron in. Ron Wheeler. Type the ones in the room for Ron if you do know him. This is great that he has the opportunity to be here with us today out of his busy schedule, because he does a whole lot of stuff. He talks more than I do. I don't think anybody talks more than Ron, but Ron is really to the point when he talks as well. Hit the ones in the room, folks. Hit the runs in the room. And Ron, I'm gonna give it to you. Talk a little bit about yourself for the people who don't know you, and let us know all about this options paycheck.
Will do. You know, it's kind of interesting, Glenn, you say wordy. I was in a meeting yesterday with some other folks, and they're like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "It might be a bit wordy." And they're like, "Oh, coming from Ron, that's funny. It might be a bit wordy. It must be really bad then if he's saying it." But anyway, yeah, I did like 6 hours of lectures yesterday, so it was a long time, but that's okay. So as Glenn said, I'm the options guy here at VectorVest, and my big thing I do is the options paycheck experience. We're launching one again. It starts in May, and we're getting ready for the sales events popping up there. We're doing one today at 4:30. We're doing a couple more next week if you have the chance to kind of pop in there and see what it's all about. We've been doing this now at VectorVest for 10 years. Got a lot of successful clients that came to it, have done it, have implemented this. So if you're looking to put a small portion of your capital into something that's a little more, I don't want to say, active, but a little more active. Our trades are typically 7 to 10 days long. It takes about, if you want to do an SPX trade, it might take you 10, 15 minutes a week to do an extra trade, maybe an hour if you want to throw some stocks in there. It's just a really good way to use options to decrease your risk, to give you a little bit more chance to make money. It takes some of the it takes some of the guesswork out of the trading, if you will. And what I did today to kind of do things a little bit different, I know I talk about it a lot, but I really want to show it to you just to kind of explain, what we do as options traders to try to limit risk, to try to, keep you on the right side of the market, to make sure you have a good chance of making money. So
Real
if you
quick,
want,
Ron.
yeah, go ahead.
A big question. How much
Yes.
cash do you need to make the options paycheck?
I would say, we kind of went back and forth and we've done a lot of research on this. And we have found that the majority of students that have been successful implementing this had at least $10,000 they can put towards it. Because with 10 grand, that's enough to trade maybe an index option. It's enough to trade a couple of stocks, just, to give yourself some wiggle room and kind of, you know, spread your wings a little bit. One of the things that I've noticed throughout the years is when I limit my scope of trading to just one thing, it does make it a little bit harder. If I have a 60% chance of winning, but I only take one stock, kind of limiting myself. But if I could take 3 or 4 stocks and kind of spread myself out a little bit more, it increases my chance of hitting those stocks that are winning. It increases my chance of making money even more. So I want you to be a little bit capitalized where you can trade 2 or 3 things at a time.
Thank you for answering that.
Yeah. Do you want to share my screen and I can kind of go over a couple of things?
Yep.
We got it.
All right, cool. Just let me know when everybody can see it because I can't see
ready.
it. All right, cool. All right. So here's the idea of what we do. So this is a stock I found yesterday, MDB. Kind of wishing I could have taken the trade yesterday. I wanted to take the trade yesterday, but there wasn't enough. I didn't get enough room to take it yesterday, so I couldn't do anything with it. But that's beside the point. This is what I think is a really good bottom fishing stock. It's also been a stock that's done very well for me with my bearish trades this year. It's done well with me with bullish trades in the past. It's MDB, MongoDB. No idea what the company does, but I assume they do something with Mongos. I don't know what a Mongo is, but
The hell
they
is
do
a
it with
Mongo?
DBs. I don't know.
You
MongoDB.
said no?
I
It's
said
kind of like the
hell.
other company I found yesterday, Glob. It's really probably Globe something, but it's Glob to me. So it'll always be Glob. But anyway, MDB. You think the stock's going to go up, right? So now, first and foremost, understand that what I'm going to talk about here is option stuff. So if you're new to options and you're not 100% sure what I'm doing or some of the things I'm talking about, that's okay. Not everybody is ready for the type of options trades we're doing, and we have to accept that. Here at VectorVest, we got things like the Jump Starter course and all kinds of other things that can get you in options too. But here's what we do on the income side, and here's why we call it income trading. So when I think of income in investing, the thing I think about all the time is dividends, right? Because dividends are pretty secure. VectorVest has a really good way of finding those stocks for you, but dividends are pretty secure. No matter what the stock does, you make money on the dividend. Now, the stock could go down 15, 20%. You get the dividend that helps, but dividends are something that you get regardless of what the stock is doing. That's pure income type investing. What we want to do is we want to bring this as close to that as we can. Nothing is ever going to be exactly like a dividend, right? So it's never going to be as concrete as that. But what we do with the stock is we take a trade that gives us room to be wrong. So, for instance, you got MDB. Let's say the stock's going to go up. I think it actually will go up. It's gone up today another $10 a share, but regardless, let's say we want MDB to go up. So it's trading at 173.29 right now. I think the stock's going to go up. There's a couple different ways to trade that, right? Number one, you go out there and buy the stock. That's easy. The problem with buying the stock is A, it's expensive, right? B, it really limits you in how you can make money. The only way you make money is if the stock goes up. That's it. If it doesn't go up, you don't make money. If it goes down, you're going to lose. Okay? It's not exactly from a mathematical term a zero-sum game, but it's pretty close, right? Now, the other way to do this is by trading options. So what we can do is we can go out there and buy a call. Now, when you buy a call, there's some advantages to this. Number one, you don't have to put out as much money. For instance, if I go out there right now and I'm going to open up a risk graph, and again, for those of you that have traded options before, you know what a risk graph is. A risk graph is simply a graph that tells you how much money you'll make or lose based on the stock's movement. So for instance, if I go out there right now, I buy a June 20th 165 call. Okay. That means I have the right to buy the stock at 165 if I want to. Keep in mind that option traders don't really want to buy the stock. They just want to take advantage of the option. They want to buy an option, have the option increase in value, and then at some point they want to sell it and get rid of it. They want to close their options contract out. So very rarely are you ever going to take the stock. Let's say that MDB goes up to $200 a share. So right here, the stock's at 173. If it goes up to $200 a share sometime between now and the middle of June, I'm going to make about $1,600 on this option.
I like
The
that.
option, yeah, not too bad. The option, unfortunately, does cost you $2,400. It's expensive. And options right now are expensive, by the way, because the volatility is through the roof. It's getting better, but volatility is through the roof. So it's a really, really hard time to be an options trader.
And John says spreads on MDB are quite wide.
Yes, I would agree with that. So what we like to do instead of doing this, right? I got to put out $2,400. Now, on a good note, that's all I can lose. So if the stock goes to $100 a share, worst case is I'm going to lose $2,400 on this option. Okay. So it's got its advantages. The advantages are it's lower risk, lower output of money, and you're going to get a better rate of return if you just buy a call. The downside is this. If you look at the risk graph and you look at that solid blue line, if you were to keep this option into the month of June, because maybe the stock doesn't go up at all, you're going to have to be above $190 a share by June to have this thing make money. So buying the stock, at least if the stock goes up to 190, you're going to make $17 a share. But if you buy the call and the stock maybe only goes to 190 or 192 by expiration in June, you're going to walk away from that trade basically making nothing. So the worst part about buying an option is if it doesn't go in your favor enough, you could actually lose money, even if you get direction right. So what we like to do, and this is the hallmark of the options paycheck system, instead of being an option buyer, we are going to be an option seller. And the whole idea of this is we want to sell an option that's out of the money. Okay. So if you go back to the graph, here's the graph, here's the stock. All right. In an option, you have calls and you have puts. So if I take the current price of the stock, and if I look at a call that is below the stock price is an in the money call. If you go above the stock price, okay, that's an out of the money call. Kind of like if you're familiar with a covered call, right? You buy the stock, you sell a call against it. You sell an out of the money call. You sell a call that's above the stock price because you want to give the stock room to where if it doesn't go up enough, you can still collect the premium. Worst case scenario, you get called away when the option goes in the money and expires. We want to trade options that are out of the money, and we want them to stay out of the money. So my goal as a trader is to choose an option that's not going to get hit. Okay. So if I told you to sell a call on MDB, pick a price that's not going to get hit. All right. Stock's at 173. Maybe I'll go up to $200 a share. That way the stock can go up. And as long as it doesn't go up over $200, that option will stay out of the money and I'll make money on the trade. Now, the inherent problem with that is I think that MDB is going to go up. I want it to go up. So why would I want to put a cap on how high the stock can go up? It doesn't make sense, right? Now, a covered call is a different type of trade. I'm not talking about that, right? You're not actually owning the stock here. You're just selling an option. So if I sell a $200 call and the stock goes to 210, I'm in danger of having to sell the stock for $200. Now, if I own the stock, it's not a big deal. But if I don't, it's huge. You'll get called away. But if you don't own the stock, it's a problem. So what we do when we think a stock is going to go up, we would never sell a call. We would instead go below the stock and sell a put. Why would we sell a put?
There you go, Stephanie. Stefan said exactly that. There you
Yep.
go.
Now, the reason why we sell a put, well, because we think the stock's going to go up. The farther away from that price I get, the more my option is going to lose value. And that's really what I want. I want to sell an option, and I want that option to lose its value. Now, when you sell an option, understand that, it's not like when you sell a car or something on Facebook Marketplace, right? They come to your house, they pick it up, they walk away, they own it. When you sell an option, you're selling a contract. When I sell a put, it says I may have the obligation to buy that stock in the future. So if I go out there and, for instance, on MDB, and I sell a $150 option or a put, it says that I may be required to buy the stock at 150. Now, I've been trading like this for 15 years. I've never actually had to go out there and buy the stock. Okay, it just doesn't happen because the way we do our money management. And I'll kind of explain that too. So if I go out there and I sell a 150 put, here's what's going to happen to this trade. If the stock goes up, I'm going to make money. If the stock goes sideways, I'm going to make money. If the stock goes down but stays above 150, I am going to make money on this trade.
That's 3 different ways, Ron.
That's the probability of it. That's the beauty. Now we've created a situation where we can even be wrong and still make money. Now, if the stock goes below 150, your out of the money put becomes an in the money put. That's bad. We would simply exit the trade and walk away. Okay? So in this particular instance, the stock's at 173, we're down here at 150, and we're giving that stock plenty of room to be wrong. Now, I know a lot of people get concerned because we're in high volatility markets right now, but Ron, high volatility. One of the things that we like to do in these high volatility markets is, first and foremost, if you're a VectorVest client, watch my special presentation this week. I'm doing one about this exact thing, about how high volatility options give you more room to trade anyway. But one of the things that I like to do, and you'll see it on the bottom of my graph, as I look at the average true range. This is a 14-bar average true range on MDB. And right now, the average move is $11 a share per day. Makes sense. It's up about $10.50 today. Well, if the stock's at 173 and I'm down here at 150, I'm $13 away. So I am outside the typical range of this stock. That's how I stay ahead of the market. Now, I mentioned in something like this, I would go out there and I would sell a 150 put. Now we're getting close to the time where it may not make much sense to do May because we're getting to our lower point of our expiration. So if I went out to June and did it, which is probably where I'd be right now, for this trade, if I sell a 150 put and I do it for June, I'm going to collect $895. So if I trade one contract, I'm going to collect $895. Now, if you're not familiar with the risk graph, I understand, but if you are, you're going to notice as the stock goes up, that little dashed line gets in the green. So if the dashed line gets to, let's say, right here, okay, that's a price of $200 a share. It's not that much, really. I mean, if the stock's moving at $10 a day, it could be there in like 3 days. All right. If the stock moves up to $200 a share, I would make on that option about $500. Now, how would I make $500 on this trade? Well, it's real easy. When I enter the trade, I'm going to bring out my calculator. I'm entering the trade at $8.95. I sold the option. I'm collecting $8.95. As this trade goes in your favor, the option is going to start losing money. So if this thing declines by $500, when this thing gets to 200, that option I sold for $8.95 is now only trading for $3.95. I sell the option for $895, and if the stock goes up to, let's say, 200, I can now exit the trade by paying my broker that $395. I close the position. I no longer have the contract, the obligation, and I pocket 500 bucks. Now, the issue with this trade is you really don't have any downside protection. What happens if, tariff talks again, and all of a sudden the market goes down 6% and MDB is trading at 130? Well, if it goes down to 130, you might be sitting at like an $1,800 loss on this trade. Now, what I would encourage you to do is keep a stop, right? So if I get into this trade at 173, I'm going to make sure I exit the trade if the stock drops below that price of the put that I sold. So if it goes down below 150, I'm going to get out of the trade and lose about $745. It's not bad. I can make up to 895. I would lose no more than 745. Now, that's still a lot of risk. So what we do is we sell a put, but then I add a put as protection. I buy, in this case, we'll do a 145, just the next strike down. And what that does is it limits my risk. Now I have a trade where I'm getting paid 150 bucks. My maximum risk is 350. And I know that may sound really, really bad, right? I can only make 150, but I'm risking 350. You're really not. Remember, you're going to keep your stop at 150. So if the stock drops below 150, you're going to exit this trade. Okay. Now, you might say, but Ron, we're very volatile right now. What if it gaps? Well, if it gaps, you might lose a little bit more. I've had this happen to me a couple times a year. It happens. It's not a big deal. But follow that dashed line. Look how far back the stock would have to go for you to lose $352 on this trade. It would have to go down to $90 a share. It would have to basically lose 40% of its value in one day. It's just, I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but I don't trade stocks where that's possible. You know, what stocks happen? That's a pharmaceutical stock. That's something for earnings. I would never take a trade through earnings. Now, to kind of give you one like last little bit of money management on this trade, what we do at the options paycheck is we take our profits actually at 50%. So if I sell this trade for 150 bucks, I'm going to keep the trade till I make $75. That means the stock only has to go up to about 195. All right, about 20 bucks a share. And again, the average true range is 10 bucks. It's not a huge move right now. And if the stock drops below 150, I'm going to exit the trade at about $104 loss. So I can make 75 with the expectation of losing about 100. Now, I know that for some of you that have never traded probability based, that sounds weird, right? How can I make $75 and lose 100 and expect to make money? Because remember, you can make money even if you're wrong. As time goes on, you're going to be able to make money even if the stock goes sideways based on time decay. And this stock has a 36% chance of going below 150. So yes, you can make 75 per contract. Yes, you're risking 100. But remember, probability is on your side. And right now, if I took this trade and let's say I made money 7 times out of 10, 7 times I made 75 bucks a contract. But then 3 times I lose 100. I'm still coming out ahead. That's the beauty. Even if I'm only right 60% of the time, 60% of the time out of 10, I make 75. And then 4 times I lose 100, I'm still coming out ahead. Not a lot, but you're still coming out ahead. And one of the biggest things that you got to learn about doing trades like this, you got to learn the risk management. You would never put a trade on where, let's say I was 90%. Every time I make money, like 9 out of 10 times, I make 100 bucks, right? I make 100 bucks 9 out of 10 times. I made $900. But on the one loss, I lose 1,500. Well, what good is that, right? You're 90% right, but you're losing money. So the key of this is it's giving us room to be wrong, okay? As we stay in the trade, what happens is we got to go up from day one to make money. But as the trade gets deeper and deeper into time, what you're going to see is that break even starts to move back, And every day we can even stay sideways and we can start making money on this trade. That's the beauty of doing this. You're putting time on your side, you're putting probability on your side. And as long as you control risk and reward, you're going to come out ahead. And that's why, like I've been saying, we've been doing this now for 10 years at VectorVest, and it's been such a good success because, we hit every major part of what being a good option seller is all about. So I hope that kind of helped you out a little bit for what we do in the options paycheck. And maybe it confused you, and that's okay. You might not be ready for this level yet, but I want to be transparent and tell you exactly how we do these things and what we do to make this thing successful.
All right. So, Joey, what if I wanted to just take this off? Can I do that? And put up the link? Go to but first off, Ron, thank you so much for being here. All right. But I need you to go to OP register.
Yep.
And Joey put the link in there. All right. What Ron is explaining is powerful. You can sell spreads around your stocks and generate some income from holding stocks with options income. So www.vectorvest.com/OP register. It's free. Ron just took a little bit of time today to talk to you a little bit about the basics. He'll get a little deeper into it on the webcast. It is free. It is free. It is free. It is free. Stephanie says, why taking the June strike instead of May? You would have to hold your puts too long. Yes, no, maybe?
Well, remember, you're not holding them till June. You're only holding them till it hits profit. So if the stock goes up $20, you could be out of this trade by Friday. So very, very rarely are we ever holding this trade anywhere close to expiration. And the reason why we would go June instead of May right now is because May is kind of wrapping up to the point where I wouldn't be wanting to do trades in May because the premiums are too low. This is kind of the transition week where we go from May to June.
Excellent. So Stephanie asked a couple of really good questions, and I'm thankful that Ron was here to be able to answer them. Could I have answered them? Yeah, but would it have been as good as Ron's answer? No, because Ron is a lot better than at the options than I am. But, I can play options, believe you me, and I've done it in my lifetime. So, Ron, once again, type the ones in the room. Very much thankful for the time you've taken today to do this. Remember to support him online. It's 2 hours and 57 minutes and 19 seconds before he does his free webcast today. www.vectorvest.com/OP registered. Joey put the link in the chat for you guys to go and click on it. Support him. Let me tell you something. I don't think there's anybody out there better than Ron Wheeler when it comes down to options, especially with the transparency, especially with the real world. He's looking at that trade real world. He brought that out to you. So, which was great. Thank you for that, Ron, and have a wonderful day, my friend.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. So we're going to finish up with the rest of Trending Thursday. I didn't have a lot of stories today, specifically because I knew that Ron would be on. All right, so thank you, Ron Wheeler. Very informative, and he's an awesome teacher. I love when people who have taken his class talk about it, because there's a lot of people out there who are not subscribers to the VectorVest software, who are just here on the YouTube channel, which we appreciate, which we do appreciate. But there's a lot of powerful stuff that we do provide within the VectorVest software that you need to know about. All right. Huh? Hit my web button. Oh, I was getting ready to do that. Well, don't tell me what to do. I got this. Man, being bossy over there. All right. So we're going to finish up with a couple of other stories. Again, I planned to not have a lot of stories today because I knew Ron was going to need some time. And here we go. So this is a stock that I know Amir, and I haven't seen him here today, that Amir has been asking me about for the last couple of months. ServiceNow sees Doge tariff challenges as opportunities. Analysts like agent potential. So nice move on ServiceNow. Impressed investors and analysts with its first quarter 2025 financial results, demonstrating strong growth in the face of economic uncertainties. while also highlighting a new opportunity through artificial intelligence agents. Man, I think that we all know that artificial intelligence, AI is not going anywhere. What's up, Furby? The AI is not going anywhere. So nice move on now. We'll take a look at it. Another big mover today. TSMC reveals new A14 process, improves smartphone. There it is. AI capabilities and computing power. Taiwan Semi expects to improve in the development of artificial intelligence applications and enhance smartphones with onboard AI capabilities. You know, I got what iPhone do you have? The 16? I got the 5th. You got the we hope both have the 15. I think I have the 15. But I'm watching as new phones are coming out. They are touting more AI capabilities in the phones. It is what it is. TSM already in the semiconductor space, but AI has been beat down. But I like this whole idea of a new AI processor or new AI processing in your mobile device. All right. So another good story. One more story. SQM Codelco Lithium joint venture approved by Chile regulator. This is the follow-up again with the rare earth metals. SQM is a stock that's in that space along with UAMI and USAR. Man, USAR, did y'all see USAR is taking back all those losses? It is rocking. I currently do hold UAMY. I hold antimony. Hey, Glenn, looking forward to see you in the Jockey Club tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be there. Our Jockey Club is killing it right now. Between Steve and I just play a small role. It's primarily Steve's show. I'm just there. But I'll be there in the Jockey Club tomorrow. Anybody here coming to Charlotte next Thursday? Man, it's almost here. I am so excited. I know Ryan and I are really pumped up about the road show. The first test of the road show, again, if it does well, we're going to hopefully get the okay to take the road show on the road. And then me and Joey and Ryan will be traveling all over the United States. I'm loving that. You liking it? You ready for it? All right. So
Stay ready.
You stay ready? All right. I'm excited about it. But that's going to be next Thursday here in Charlotte. I need as many of you to show up in person as possible. Show up and show out. Let's go show how powerful VV Nation is. All right. So those are all my stories today. Those are all the stories that I have. I'm going to get back into the software. Again, look at today's move in the market. Right at that beautiful level of resistance. Ooh-wee. If we can get past this, we got some more upside. And the trend is in place. I'm looking at the trend line, tracking the lows. The trend is in place. I really would like to see RT get above 1, showing that the market, in this case, would be in an uptrend. The underlying trend of the market is moving up. The buy-to-sell ratio is moving up as well. Let's go to the viewers tab. Here's the markets today. They're all up. The S&P up 2%. The Q's up 2%. That's why tech's on the rise. The Dow is up 1%. The Russell's up almost 2%. And the Composite's up 1.5%. The VIX is falling, but still above the value of 20. Don't lose sight of that. Are you adding Toronto to your tour? Possibly. If this works out well, I think Canada will be on the roadshow list. All right? Don't hold me to that, but I think that Canada should be on the roadshow list if this works out. All right? So, like I said, if this does work out right and you support this, we'll be all over the United States. We'll be on the West Coast. We'll be in the Midwest. Did I say Mideast? We'll be in the Midwest. We'll be in the South. We'll be in the North. We'll be in the East. We'll be all over. Who is driving the bus for the road show? Joey primarily. Come to Hollywood, California. Again, you guys got to support this one coming up next Thursday. You support that. We'll come all over we can. Believe you me. All right? Believe you me. All right. So all of the major no, we're not going to Bretton Woods. It's too damn cold, even in the summer. It's too cold to go up to New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire has 1 hour of summer. That's it. 1 hour of summer. The rest of the time it's snowing. I think New Hampshire's only got 1 hour of summer. So we're probably not going up there. Glenn is going to Staten. I'm not going to Staten Island either. If we come to New York, we need to probably come to the city. But you know something? I've seen this happen more than once. We plan a trip to the city and nobody shows up. I'm like, how the flying flip does that happen? Nobody shows up. We get a hotel in the city, downtown Manhattan, and none of you show up. I don't even know if I want to come to New York unless it's like Long Island City. I might do that, but I don't think nobody's going to show up for a New York. I can't understand that. All right, I can't understand that. That how is the Mecca of the world not show up for a VectorVest event? I don't understand. The VV events I have seen outside of Boston, you guys would get 200 people. If that's the case, then we'll come. If that's the case, then we'll come. All right. But you got to support Thursday. Let's see. Do I have anything I want to take a look at? Let's go look at the big news stocks, the stocks that made the news that I looked at. ServiceNow, look at that. Nice move up on Service. And of course, ServiceNow goes up and Amir's not here. All right. Tampa was a great audience. But see, that's to be expected because we do that every year. The Tampa 2-day, that's a normal Tampa 2-day. But when we do a road show, it's probably not going to be as big as Tampa. I'd love to see the road shows as big as Tampa. I really would. But usually they don't become as big as Tampa. How about upstate New York? I wouldn't mind going upstate as long as the people would show up. It's so rural out there. Man, my parents live in Peekskill. And it's like Beautiful thing about my parents living in Peekskill in the summertime, in the wintertime, you go out on their back deck, it's nothing but mountains off the deck, just looking at mountains for miles and miles and miles, which I do love about going to upstate. All right, so I'm just saying. All right, so those are the only 3 stocks that I had that came from the news. But let's go take a look at them on a 1-month graph. I'm looking at the 3 and the 8. Look at that. ServiceNow, nice move. Think about going back to the money show to present. Nope. There's a couple of reasons why. And if you look at the money show vendors, they're decreasing bigly. All right, they're decreasing bigly. That's all I got to say about that. But Amir's not here. I love the 3-8 cross. I love breaking through resistance. I love the volume. I love RT. Ooh-wee. I'd look at 12 cents high in the high. I'm looking at TSM. Broke through the downtrend. This is a 1-month graph. Looks like it broke through the downtrend. The 3-8 crossed. No wick at the top. Undervalued. RT is not there yet, but I love the move on it. Even if you draw from this low, it's in an uptrend. And the last stock in here is SQM. 3 and the 8 crossed today. 3 and the 8 did cross, but a little bit of sideways move. I like the play, but I let the play come to me. Trade the chart, not your heart. All right. So those are the stocks that made the news. Did I give any stock? Oh, yes. With the market moving up the way it is, how about looking at some safe, undervalued stocks that are rising? Ta-da! I got NRG, Nintendo, Esquire, and Fairfax Finance Holdings. All of them are up today. Let's graph these. These are safe undervalued stocks that are rising. NRG, nicely moving up, no wick at the top. Put this on a 1-month graph, no wick at the top. RT is above 1. I don't like the falling volume, but I do like the undervalued. I do like the nice 1-month high. Let's go put this on 3-month, and it's not at a 3-month high. I would keep my eyes on it, and that's going to be my next level of resistance, right at the 3-month high. I got some room. To run. The 3/8 cross, RT is above 1. Love the rising earnings as well. Only thing that concerns me is the pullback in volume, and it's now a buy recommendation. Let's go to the next one. Giving you some fish. How about Nintendo broke through a level of resistance after gapping up? No wick at the top. Rising value. Woo. I'm liking Nintendo. All right, I'm liking Nintendo. Nice bump up in volume. Giving you some fish. Like this one too. Esquire Financial, nicely moving higher. Undervalued. No wick at the top of the candle. Rising earnings. Volume is a little off today, but there it is. Trade the trend. Look at that stock. I like that play. I cannot lie. These other stocks cannot fly. But if I look at the run with the very little wick, I look at it and go, I don't know what the hell else to say. But earnings per share is rising. RT is rising. I like this pick as well. $84. I'm looking at it about 12 cents higher than the high. That's what I'm looking for as an entry. All right, but trade the trend. What else is in here? Whew, look at that. Stocks that I don't even know about. Insurance, property, insurance stocks on the rise again. Let's go draw a trend line. Very little wick, undervalued, value starting to rise again. Look at that earnings per share in RT and the volume. Folks, how many of these stocks you haven't heard of? Just type a one if I introduce some safe, undervalued stocks that are rising that you didn't hear about, that you didn't know about. Just type a one in the room. I don't think you all knew about all of these different stocks, but I used a search within the VectorVest software to help me to find these stocks. And remember, we track over 9,000 stocks, right? Being able to hone in on stocks that you don't even know about is a powerful way to make some money. Ain't nobody talking about nobody's talking about it. Look at the move. Look at the indicators. That's the power behind the VectorVest software right there. That's the power behind it. All right. So those are some fish that I'm giving to you. Swing trading. Did I give any NPI stocks today? I don't think I did, but maybe. Let's go take a look. Graph these. These are NPI. Wow. Just look at that. EBR. I'm not going to even put this on to the NPI. This is a 3-month graph, folks. Here's another stock that you may or may not have known about. 3-8 cross, undervalued, values rising, love the volume. Look at the earnings per share. EBR, so utility electric. Cheap stock. Cheap stock, I'm liking that. What else is in here? POW, a lot of people buying ammunition. I'm one of them. But ammo, POWW, I like the move, but unlike this stock, I'm not sure it's a long-term move. I think that this is just some hype, but you know something? You know what I'm looking at before I think about getting in? Let it get above that swing high. Let it get above that 1919 before I pull the trigger. All right, what else? Same thing with CRMD. That's what I'm really looking for, but I love these moves coming off lows, 3-8 crossing, nice open bars. That's what I'm looking for. AEG, another insurance company, bottom left, top right from this low. Undervalued, rising value. I hope you guys are writing some of these down because I want to hear later. Man, Glenn, thank you for that pick. Glenn, thank you for that pick. Thank you for that pick. I like that this one not only went up, but looks like it broke through. Look at that, breaking through the swing high. Oh, man, and if it does, it's got some good room to run to the upside. And that's all of the stocks from the MPI. All right, what else do I have? Arrows, aggressive 3/8. I got nothing there. Let's talk about speculative. These are moving on big volume. These are moving up on big volume. Let's go take a look. Hood, that's entry into the crypto space. Crypto's on the run. Hood could be a good indirect entry into the crypto space. Nice open candle, no wick. Volumes picking up, earnings per share. RT just went above 1. May not be a bad time to get into. Wow, Robert, we just got us a super chat. And there I'm dancing. Look at that. Type the ones in the room for the super chat. Thank you very much, Robert. Thank you for that. We got us a super chat today. Woo-wee. And then you got to see me do my Michael Jackson dance. You know what else I like about Hood? It just turned into a buy. Robert says, I did very well today, and he just spreaded the cheer. Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. Folks, that's what this room is all about. Man, that's what this room is all about. I appreciate that. All right, Hood may not be a bad idea. I do like that it's just become a buy recommendation coming off this level of support. I got a level of resistance sitting about $57.22. I got some room to make some money here. All right, what else do I have? New fish. Look at this. Buy point on Palantir. 98.48. You know I was already in it. Trending higher. I already got the notes. And look at that. RT now above 1. Anybody asking me, hey, Glenn, is it the right time to buy Palantir? I set up the trade for you. I gave a buy point. Right now, that buy point is at 98.48. Stock's trading at 107. I already showed that the stock was trending higher and that RT, I was waiting for RT to get above 1. And look at that. RT is above 1, and it's a new buy recommendation. No wick at the top, which means it's trading right at session highs. Man, oh, man, I'm happy. I already own it. SoFi. Ooh, SoFi. You blow my mind. All right, SoFi, love the earnings per share. RT, really close to going above 1. I'd really like to see that happen, but I've got 2 levels of headwinds here. All right, what am I looking at? A buy point here. I'm looking at 5 cents higher than the high, but I'm going to keep my eye on this level of $13. All right, just keeping that in mind. I do like the move. Nice move on Ford. Look at that. Nice move on Ford, breaking through a level of resistance, breaking through another level of resistance. Stock still a hold. I'm not feeling the earnings per share, but RT, from a technical standpoint, breaking through 2 levels of resistance and RT above 1, I may like to get me a little bit of Ford. Hey now, where would I be looking at resistance on Ford? Right about there at about 1027. All right, so I got a little bit of room here, but I like the move. There was some pullbacks on tariffs on automakers. Is that paying off? Possibly. All right, a couple of other stocks to look at. Intel, how about that? Intel made my list today. Broke above a level of resistance. The 3 and 8's in place. Volume's pretty steady. I'd really like to see RT get above 1. The stock move from a sell to a hold. I'd love to see this stock ride its way up back to a buy recommendation. Wouldn't touch Ford with a 10-foot pole, then don't touch it. I'm just showing you as a possibility. Remember, I hope you guys take some of these fish and then come back and tell me, wow, Glenn, thank you for that take on Ford. NEO, it's moving up. Broke through resistance to 3-8 cross, moved from a sell to a hold, rising volume. I don't like the earnings per share, but short term from a technicals, 3-8 crossing, breaking through resistance, RT breaking above 1. I'm not sure I would hold this long term, especially because of the falling earnings per share. But if it's giving you an opportunity to make some money right now, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so those are some fish that I'm going to give you today. Let's go see how many likes we got. 60? All right, you guys get 7 stocks today. You guys get 7 stocks today. Customer picks anything in there? Nope. All right, here we go. 7 stocks. We got 60 likes. You know the deal. For every 10 likes, you get a stock. Z. You want a Z? What the heck is Z? Oh, Zillow, the home people. BSX. That's 2. Cold. Ooh, interesting on cold. That's 3. That's a aerospace play. HWM. That's 4. INOD, that's 5. SMR, I'm liking the nuclear play. I like you better, though. That's 6. And PLX is a stock that's on my radar, Jeremy. I almost picked up some of that in real life today. I was watching PLX. I gave you 7 stocks. There we go. We know how this works out. Palantir is a monster, though. Yeah, I'm back in. I never got out of it. I never got out of it. I'm in it. Now, all the other stocks that are coming in, again, the deal is when it comes time to stocks, for every 10 likes we get, you get a stock. You gave me 60 likes today. I gave you 7 stocks. All right. So I'm telling you that so that in the future, you begin to hit that like button faster. The more you put in there, the more stocks I'll look at. All right. Why are you coughing while I'm talking? You shut up. I can't believe you told me to shut up. VV Nation, Joey told me to shut up. You shush. All right. So from this list, which stocks are going up the fastest? Let's go do some rank analysis. Coal, that's the bearish side of natural gas, up at 1.45%. Portalax, I'm liking that trade. RT at 1.45, it's got good upside potential. This is more of an aggressive trade because relative safety is below 1. I'm liking this, and it's up a little bit today. We'll take a look at the graph. Howmet Aero is in the aerospace and defense. It's got an RT at 1.24. You know that how I feel on aerospace. Boston Scientific, look at that RT, just above 1. And the other 3, Zillow, NewScale, and InnoData, have RTs below 1. Which stocks have the best upside for longer term? Portalax, there it is. That's another reason why I like Portalax. It should outperform a AAA corporate bond by about 1.63%. All right. InnoData, it's got a relative value above 1. Keep in mind, though, InnoData may be fundamentally sound, but it's been beaten up because it's got a sell recommendation. RT is what's holding it back. I'm looking at Boston Scientific, fundamentally sound, value, it's overvalued. You would think that with the market getting beaten up the way it has, a lot of these stocks should be undervalued, but not all of them. Aerospace, we got relative value. There it is. Again, fundamentally sound stock. I'm liking this. I like the space, but there it is, and it is overvalued as well. All right, what stocks go up more than they go down? Whew, Howmet, a lot less volatile because the CI is high. Same thing with NO data. Same thing with, look at that. Protolax, no matter how I sort it, remains in the top 3 stocks. How about that? Now I'm ready to look at these graphs. Whew. All right, let's go to graph layout. Let's go to a VectorVest graph. VectorVest graph. YT. So we're looking at price, we're looking at the stop, we're looking at RT. All right. I added 2 things onto this graph. I added value and I added volume. All right. But I'm liking the move on HWM. What I'd really look for, RT is above 1. I wouldn't be mad at you if you took it now. If you want more confirmation, I'd look at this break above the 1 month or the 3-month high. But, I'm not mad at you if you buy it now. It is overvalued. I do like that RT went above 1. Rising volume. We got still more trading day left here. Open candle, very little wick at the top. I wouldn't be mad at you if you're in it right now. If you're not in it, I would wait to see if it can get above that level of resistance. If you are currently in it, I'd tell you to keep your eyes on this level of 140.22. All right? I do like the move. Very little wick. A lot of bullishness behind it. Let's go to the next one. NO data. Sitting at this level of support, broke up. I'd wait on this stock. I like the open candle. I'd wait on this stock. I'd wait for a couple of things. I'd wait to see it get above the stop so I can have at least a hold recommendation. I'd like to see RT get above 1. All right? It's already broken up through its downtrend. If you're in it, that's a good thing. I'm not telling you I'd feel warm and comfortable yet. Let the stock come to me. I definitely like to see us get above the stop price so this stock can get a hold. All right. And I'd really like to see the stock in an uptrend. Last time it was in the uptrend. Look at that. RT above 1. What did the stock do? Below 1, look at what the stock does. So I like the day today, but if I'm looking at possibly seeing the stock move like this, I got to see the stock's RT go above 1. All right. Glenn, will you analyze one stock per 10 likes? I do that now. Is that what I do? Oh, Glenn, well, there we go. What did Debbie say? Debbie said something. Debbie must have said something. I don't know what Debbie said. She said something. I missed it. But yeah. Oh, there it is. Why is it so important that we push the like button? There you go. That's the only reason why. I mean, if you don't push it, it's fine. But for every 10 likes, you get a stock. All right? For every 10 likes, you get a stock. I just need you to put just a little bit of hair, a little bit of skin in the game. All right? Let's go to the next stock. I do. Look at this. Who gave me PLX? Let me go back up here. Who gave me PLX? That was Jeremy. Jeremy, look at that value. Undervalued, value rising, broke above a level of resistance. That's a 3-month level of resistance. Look at the volume. Ooh-wee. A little bit of indecision today. I wouldn't panic, though. I do own this. I did buy this. I believe I did buy this in the real world. But look at that. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. Fundamentally, look at that. Relative value is above 1. All right, that tells me that the stock's got the potential to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years. I like that. CI is above 1. Why? Because the stock is resilient enough to not be caught up in severe downward pullbacks. So I like this stock a lot. Good for Joey. Bring civility to the room. What? What's that got to do with anything? Thanks for the fish clan. You got it, Dennis. I want you guys to take advantage of some of those fish and tell me along the ways in the next couple of weeks if they worked out for you or not. I want to hear it. But PLX, I do like. I love that after this 3-month period, it finally broke through and got follow through. I'm liking that. PLX looks at its 2-year chart at resistance. Let's go to PLX. Let's go to 1 year. Look at that value. Wow. And this is why we want you guys to be in undervalued stocks. Stock tends to rise to value. Let's go out. You said 2 years. I got 3 years. So even right now, look at this. The last time the stock was undervalued and value rising, what did the stock do? How far can Netflix go? That wasn't one of my stocks today, Jim. All right, that wasn't one of my stocks today. But Cody's right. This is my 2-year or so level of resistance, sitting at 345. Huh?
Some WD on that thing.
You put some WD on this thing. Can anybody hear that? Okay. That would be my profit target right now, based on a 2-year graph or so, a 3-year graph, about 345. You got room. But I love this nice upward push with value and being undervalued. That would probably be somewhere I would keep my eyes on. All right. Next stock. Boss, let's go put this on 3-month graph. I like the move, but you know that on that 6-month, watch the move on value. It's very interesting. All right. That's interesting. I don't want to be in a stock where value is falling. I got a little bit of a downtrend. It broke through the downtrend. You know something? As long as if you're in it and it stays above the downtrend, I'm fine. If it falls back below the downtrend with falling value, I'd be careful. Not only is the stock gapping up and moving up, it got a buy recommendation. RT got above 1. But this would be my line that I keep my eyes on. It could go up. But if it breaks down and gets back into the downtrend, I'd probably think about taking it off the table. All right, next one. SMR is stuck right at a level of resistance, 1703. All right, I'd like to see it get above that. I do like the rising value, even though it's overvalued. How about I'd also like to see RT get above 1. All right, so I got a couple of things. It did move up enough to move from sell to hold. All right, that's great. It stopped at resistance. I need that to move up. Positive sign, value is moving up. Another level of waiting is waiting for RT to get above 1. All right, that's what I see on SMR. Same thing with Zillow. It's still in a downtrend. Nice up day. I do like the upward move, forming a level of a wedge. Let's go see which way it breaks. RT needs to get above 1. The stock did move from a sell to a hold. Relative value is above 1. Relative safety above. So fundamentally, the stock is fine. What I'm looking for is RT to get above 1. With those 3 things, with relative value, relative safety, relative timing, all above 1, that might not be a bad play. I need the stock to come to me, though. Joey, your video equipment has really improved. Crystal clear. Cam audio is excellent. This is brand new mic. Joey fought for me to get this mic. I got a brand new mic. This mic is killing it. This mic is really killing it. All right. And cold. That's the bearish side of natural gas. It's on the run. I wouldn't be mad at you for taking it. It's on the run. RT went above 1. The stock's now a buy. I don't like today's candle. What I'd look for before I get into it, though, I'd look at today's candle, look for the high. I'd wait for 12 cents higher than the high. 12 cents higher than the high before I get into it. Have you noticed many hit the 20-day, then fall again? You know, there's a lot of different things that I look at. Remember, for these presentations, I try to stay very simple. Could I add the 20-day? Absolutely. But I think a lot of stocks have broken above and come back down because of the uncertainty in the market, especially with tariffs. If the news cycle can slow down a little bit and we can stay where we are right now, stop beating up on the Fed, trying to get them to cut rates. Let's go see what deals are going to be made. Again, that's a lot of talk right now. What deals are going to be made as far as the tariffs, but tone it down. I think we have a good opportunity for the market to continue rising higher. With the catalyst that will shoot it up is more deals being done. Right now, the toning down of the rhetoric was a positive sign. All right. What else is going to be a catalyst? Looking at the jobs number. Jobs number is still strong. It's going to be hard to cut interest rates. What else am I looking at? I'm looking at earnings on stocks. I'm thinking coming into third quarter, fourth quarter, there's going to be a big pullback on or a big bounce up of stocks missing earnings if the tariff story sticks. All right. And then we got to also look at GDP. Are we producing stuff? Are we producing stuff? Great job. I'm active in recording podcasts. Check out Robert Mullen, California Live. We use great camera equipment too. These deals are imaginary. I'm not going to say that yet, Bill. I'm going to give, I'm of the mindset, just like I do here, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? I think that at this particular point in time, we still have to give the administration the benefit of the doubt until you don't, all right? Until you don't. I don't think that they're imaginary, but I don't know. None of us know, right? None of us know. I can only go by what I can read and present it back to you. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. There's no judgment here. But you know something? The heck are you doing?
Minding my business.
Well, you playing stuff in the middle of my live stream.
I didn't know it was gonna come on.
Sorry. I'm so mad at you right now.
Be mad.
I'm mad. I'm mad.
You can get over it too.
I'm not gonna get
Same
over it.
pants you're wearing.
What about my pants? Why you gotta talk about my pants? What's wrong with my pants?
Why are you?
All right, folks. Glenn, I'm out of gold. It looks tired right now. I'm with you on that, Robert. Gold had its place. We talked about it. I think it is pulling back a little bit. If the market starts to run, then the safe haven is not going to be gold anymore, right? The safe haven was there because of the ultimate uncertainty in the market dealing with tariffs. Gold had its place. Right now, I'm starting to look for the low dollar stocks to take advantage of. That's what tomorrow's video is going to be about. If this market still has some legs to the upside, I think low dollar stocks may be a great place for you to dip your toes in the water. All right. Can't we all get along? No. Glenn gave up yelling at Jory for Lent. Since Lent is over, he's yelling at starting again. Do I yell at you?
Yes.
I don't yell at you.
All
right. I never yell at
You
you.
never even talk to me. You just yell at me.
I do talk to you.
No, you don't.
Are you mad because I don't give you flowers
I don't
anymore?
care about no flowers.
I think you mad at me.
No.
You mad, bro?
I'm not mad. You're the one upset.
You mad, bro? All right. Listen, folks, I'm going to go. What do you think about, think on BTU longer term? Michael, that wasn't one of my stocks today. All right. Again, I'll be more than happy to talk a lot more about your stocks if we get the likes up. I know where we at? 60 likes? You know me. I like to try to get at least 100 likes, but you know how that goes, right? You want more stocks? All I ask is that you just hit the like button. If you gave me 200 likes, guess what? I got to look at 20 stocks. Just think about that. You want me to look at 20 stocks? Then that's what I need to do. Greg says, John Boston, boom. What did John say? Glenn gave up. Yeah, there's no boom. All right. I got to go. Thank you guys for being here. Would you rather have likes or tips? That's up to you guys. The likes are for one thing, all right, to get more stocks to be looked at. The tips are just icing on the cake, and I love that. I love that. The channel loves that, all right? So I'm very appreciative of both. How about that? I'm appreciative on both. All right. Michael, again, I'm not going to look at that today. I already looked at as many stocks as you wanted me to look at today. All right, I got to go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. You know how I love me some Hawaii. I need to be there right now. Odabu. Oh, wait. Always remember there's good people in the world. If you can't find one, be one. Odabu. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Till next time, folks. See ya. Hey, VV Nation, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Ryan, and on May 1st, put it on your calendars. By popular demand, we're kicking off the road show in Charlotte, North Carolina. Break down what we'll be doing that day.
We're going to do 2 live streams there. We're going to do the Stock Analysis Power Hour, which is going to be done by Ryan. We're also going to be doing Trending Thursday live stream as well, which will be hosted by me. And in the middle, we've got a special presentation.
We've worked very hard for a special presentation titled Unlocking the Secrets to Financial Success. Now, after the business is done, we're going to have some fun with our VIP experience where we rented out the presidential suite in Uptown Charlotte. We're going to have a very own sommelier hosted by Jarvis Vineyards. And on top of that, we are going to go over to Fahrenheit's, a beautiful rooftop restaurant where we'll be able to get to know our subscribers even more. To register, simply go to VectorVest.com/roadshow.